Christopher Nolan is responsible for some of the greatest blockbusters of the 21st century, and it seems the secret to the director's genius can be explained by his own golden rule. Over the course of his career, Nolan has made a name for himself as one of the most reliable and influential filmmakers of his generation, with almost every Christopher Nolan movie garnering acclaim from both critics and audiences. The director's ability to craft a great film is likely a result of Nolan's innate talent and the strict rule he imposes on himself and others. Like many of the other best directors of all time, Nolan is a perfectionist who works tirelessly to ensure that his movies are as good as they can possibly be. He's a stickler for detail and is known for getting the best performances out of his actors. While Nolan's methods are largely a mystery to those outside of his film sets, one of the British-American filmmaker's biggest rules has been revealed, and it sheds a lot of light on Nolan as a person and his creative process. Christopher Nolan's no smartphone, or email or internet, rule explained. The director has no time for modern tech. Christopher Nolan looking into a camera directing Oppenheimer. In 2024, smartphones and the internet play large roles in the lives of most people, be they for work, recreation, or both. Ever since the internet was invented, it's had an increasingly greater hold over society and the vast majority of people in the West. Not Christopher Nolan, though. The director doesn't own a smartphone, nor does he use email. In fact, Nolan writes all of his scripts from a computer that lacks access to the internet. Instead, he prefers to do most things the good old-fashioned analog way. Speaking to The Hollywood Reporter while promoting 2023's Oppenheimer, Nolan said, "The filmmaker also clarified that he's not against technology per se, he just finds it far too distracting. Obviously, being one of the world's most influential people means that important people constantly need to get in contact with Nolan, and it falls to the job of his assistant to take care of his emails." Meanwhile, during the early development of Oppenheimer, Nolan personally flew to Ireland to hand-deliver the script to the movie star, Cillian Murphy, demonstrating the lengths he's willing to go to not use the internet. He does, however, own a small flip phone for emergencies only. How having no technological distractions has helped Nolan's creativity. The rule has certainly benefited the director's career. Of course, Nolan hasn't eschewed modern technology simply for the sake of it or to make himself look edgy. Like everything he does, Nolan follows this rule to benefit his creative process. After all, smartphones are undoubtedly distracting and can easily get in the way of one meeting work deadlines. Nolan explains, "If I'm generating my material and writing my own scripts, being on a smartphone all day wouldn't be very useful for me." It's hard to argue with his point, especially given his glowing track record. The director has released 12 movies over the past 26 years, all of which have either been critically acclaimed, commercially successful, or both. In 2023, Nolan received the Academy Award for Best Director for his work on Oppenheimer, and in 2024, he was given a knighthood for his contributions to film. All the while, Nolan has been the innovator of his own unique cinematic style, which has had an influence on many young filmmakers. While most people have filled their time with endless scrolling, Nolan has been thinking and creating, and the results speak for themselves.